I don't know about where you are, but here it has become prom season in South Carolina. So I thought, what could we do but maybe read a little bit from the Watchers of Moniah, Book One, where Adana actually does wear a dress that she chooses to wear as opposed to a dress she's enforced to wear. Most of the time, Adana is in a uniform and she prefers the uniform. She's very comfortable in the uniform. Queen Quilla in Elwar believes that the uniform is inappropriate, especially for her court, and she makes her wear the dresses of Elwar. The dresses of Elwar are voluminous, they're uncomfortable, they're difficult to navigate in. They have tons of petticoats underneath them. And Adana begrudgingly has been wearing them, but recently she has met Empress Gabriella of Belwyn, and Empress Gabriella wears a different style. So there's an announcement of a dance that she really does not want to be involved in, but has no choice. And let me just share with you a little bit about this occurrence and the dress she comes up with. So this is following the Kingdom's Council, where the four kingdoms have come together to discuss the threat of Malagon. When they exited the chamber around noon, Queen Quilla swept down on her husband, a gleam in her eye. Have you resolved your discussions, made your plans? Dark circles weathered King Danel's jovial features, but he took his wife's hand in his and nodded. We have. A victorious smile stretched the queen's features. I look forward to hearing your plans, my lord. Now I can send the invitations out for our celebratory ball. Adana halted in the stone hallway, one foot not settled on the floor. To her side, Kiffin froze in a similar position. In fact, the entire Kingdom's Council paused and stared at the Queen. Quilla glanced around at each of them, amusement on her features. We have several royal guests in our midst. We would be terribly impolite if we did not provide a feast in your honor and introduce you to our noble families. You mustn't return home believing Elwar is run by savages. As she spoke those last words, Quilla swept her gaze over the watchers. But her triumphant smile faltered as she encountered Adana, attired in Elwarian dress. It seems I've proven that to at least one of you, anyway. Quilla's smile returned as she nodded toward Adana. Adana did not enjoy it. Next to her, Kiffin made a humping sound. Wary of her earlier unexplainable reaction to the prince, she chose to remain facing forward, but observed him through her peripheral vision. His perpetual frown lingered while his gaze traveled back and forth from his stepmother to Adana. Adana walked away, head held high, toe heel. Clattering footsteps rang down the stairs toward Adana as she climbed them, prepared to return to her chambers. Lyra rounded the corner and drew up short, her blue eyes sparkling. Have you heard? There's to be a dinner with dancing. Mother says I may attend, and I'm to have a new dress, as are you. Donna nodded and trudged past Lyra. So it seems. Spinning around to trail Adana, Lyra said, Aren't you excited? We get to select materials. Mother summoned the best seamstress in the city. Her gowns speak volumes. Adana paused and regarded Lyra. Speak volumes? Dresses don't speak. The girl's sudden trill of laughter never ceased to surprise Adana. Lyra found so much of Adana's thoughts amusing. Have you never noticed how people act in response to your clothing? Don't people respond to you a certain way when you wear your uniform? Quilla hated the uniform, and based on his glares, Kiffin did too. And Moniah, a watcher's uniform, not a dress, commanded respect. Of course they do. It's a soldier's uniform. Adana stiffened her shoulders and continued up the stairs. Lyra rushed after her. But a dress says something else. It announces your beauty, your feminine grace. The dress Adana wore swished around her on the steps as she turned back and forth studying it. These skirts, do you recall how I tripped over them for weeks? And they hide everything. Casa came up behind them on the stairs. My lady, you walk with regal grace now that you've found a way to navigate those skirts. Men notice, and women have teased men for centuries by hiding their bodies under material. Queen Quilla disapproves of my uniform because I don't hide my body from the eyes of men? Her mouth in a straight line, Casa nodded. In part, but she also seeks to conform all within her reach to her own ideas of propriety, not ours. I see. Adana turned to Lyra. Do you think the seamstress can make a gown cut like one of Empress Gabriella's? I dislike these petticoats, and if we're to dance, as you suggest, I doubt I can manage in a dress like this. Lyra pouted. The seamstress is renowned in the four kingdoms. If it can be made, she'll make it. She flounced up the stairs, leaving Adana and Casa behind. You should wear a proper dress, though. I already asked her to make us matching ones, mine in green and yours in peach. And then this is Adana's entrance to the celebratory ball. In unison, the group turned when Plutarch waved to him. In an instant, several of the ladies rushed to his side, and he is Kiffin, etching quick curtsies and rising to chirp silliness. He nodded, not really listening, while he scanned the guests for Adana. Plutarch searched the gathering, too. Oh, there she is, one of the bevy of girls said. She's so tall, and what is she wearing? Kiffin and Plutarch swung around and followed the young women's gazes. Adana stood on the stairs, her hand placed on her father's arm as she descended. She wore a gown made from blue glimmer cloth, Moniah's most valuable export. As she moved, the exotic fabric shimmered between the shade of the pond's waters when midday sun hit it, and the darkest blue of the evening sky before the sun dropped below the horizon. The dress clung close to her body, revealing a slight but tempting dip at the neckline, until it reached her hips. Then it flared into a dramatic sweep of skirt that fell to just above the floor. Her hair fell in a tawny curve around her shoulders. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I apologize for the flub ups a little bit in reading. It's hard sometimes to get everything read properly, but this dress actually is a significant step in Adana's way of working against Queen Quilla in Elwar. And I won't tell you any more, but there are some interesting things that come about because of this dress, even though she wears dresses only when she has to. So I hope you enjoyed that little section from Watchers of Moniah. I'll move over a little bit so you can see. Here's the covers of all three books. They're all available at Amazon. They're also available at chriskennedypublishing.com. And there are a few local bookstores that are carrying them. Fiction Addiction in Greenville, South Carolina, Hub City Bookshop in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Bookmarks in Winston-Salem might still have them. I think they're out, but you can check on the websites with these particular stores, and they can offer you the books and send them to you. And I sign the books that I send to bookstores, so you would get a signed copy. If you watch in the comments below this video, I will put links to those particular stores and to the Amazon link for ordering the books. But I hope you enjoyed these, and we'll check out the Watchers of Moniah trilogy. Happy prom season!